Hello, how are you? Today, I'm going to talk to you about what happens in your body when you drink water on an empty stomach in the morning. Most people don't know what it does to the body. It can have some very interesting effects, and many people ask me about the amount, about the temperature, about whether to consume it with something else or not. So, I'm going to give you all these tips and the precautions you need to take as well. Stay until the end because you won't want to miss this. Before we start, I want to ask you if you already have the habit of drinking water in the morning on an empty stomach, or if you only remember to drink water much later in the middle of the morning close to lunchtime. Music. How does that work for you? When you drink water in the morning, do you notice any difference in your digestion, your hunger, your energy, your skin, or not? How does that work? Write it for me down below in the comments. I would love to see your comment. And go ahead and like the video because that really helps me out here on the channel. Music. And if you know someone who might be curious about this or wants more tips, share this video. Let's expand our chain of kindness. It makes perfect sense for us to drink water as soon as we wake up because during the night we go through a process of physiological dehydration, right? We can call it that because we usually go 7 to 10 hours without drinking any water, right? So we keep losing fluids through breathing, through body heat, and night sweats. So it's important for us to try to remember that. This specific moment is important basically because of this physiological dehydration, which happens to the vast majority of people. Another benefit of drinking water first thing in the morning as soon as you wake up is what's called the gastrocolic reflex. And this is a benefit that many people can notice in their daily lives. The digestive system is more responsive at this time. And when we manage to get a large volume of water into the stomach at that moment, it stimulates peristalsis, stimulates the intestines. So many people who suffer from constipation with sluggish bowels, with a lot of gas, say that when they start drinking water in the morning, they already feel the urge to have a bowel movement right afterwards. There's also a really cool aspect regarding the reflex, the role of ADH, which is the antidiuretic hormone, and swelling. Music. Because at night, this antidiuretic hormone is secreted to conserve water. Since, as I mentioned, we don't consume water and we end up losing fluids through breathing, music sweating, and so on. So we end up retaining more water in our bodies. Whereas, when you wake up and drink water, you signal to your kidneys that, okay, the shortage is over. The body relaxes more and releases that excess retained fluid that built up during the night. So, it's that basic phrase, but it makes perfect sense. Music. Drink water to reduce swelling. The less water you drink, the more swollen you can get. So, if you're someone who suffers a lot from fluid retention, high blood pressure, if you have a lot of cellulite or a lot of body swelling, remember that drinking water in the morning can help you as a complementary measure. There's also the matter of oral hygiene, right? Even though brushing your teeth in the morning is part of our routine, many people experience bad breath because their mouth is drier. The mucous membrane in your mouth can become drier during the night, including your tongue and everything else. This is especially true for people who breathe through their mouth at night. So, ideally, you should hydrate well to rehydrate this mucous membrane. Of course, keep brushing your teeth and maintaining your oral hygiene as you always do. Drinking water first thing in the morning has a very interesting physiological impact. There's this plasma expansion I mentioned where you improve your blood and plasma volume, and this helps improve brain hydration, which reduces that sluggish brain feeling in the morning. Some people wake up and feel like they've been run over by a truck, lack of focus, tiredness. Sometimes you're just dehydrated and don't even know it. There's also the matter of mechanoreceptors. So, in the stomach, as I mentioned, the amount of water we drink first thing in the morning stimulates these mechanoreceptors and promotes intestinal cleansing, especially if you struggle with constipation. There's also the issue of thermogenesis. Our bodies expend energy to balance the temperature of the liquid, so of course this effect is subtle and not very significant. Especially if you drink cold water, the impact will be greater, but it can be used as a complementary measure. Another stimulus for those who want to boost their metabolism and activate the weight loss process. Music. One thing I think is very important to tell you and that many people underestimate is how close the thirst and hunger centers are in our brain. They are very close to each other. So sometimes you're actually thirsty, but your body interprets it as hunger, especially right after you wake up and so on. So sometimes when you hydrate well before breakfast, you end up eating less at that meal, which can help improve your health, glucose levels, and cholesterol control, right? You make better food choices and eat less. And of course, it also helps with weight control. There's also another benefit, which is glycemic control, because we already know that being hydrated creates a better environment for that first meal of the day. In fact, there's even a video here on the channel that talks more about how drinking water affects blood sugar. That video is really good and very thorough. If you want more tips, just watch it. Early in the morning, we naturally experience a physiological increase in blood sugar, which is directly related to the rise in cortisol in our bodies. I'll talk more about that for you later. The secretion of certain hormones early in the morning, the release of glucagon, which happens from our liver during the night to keep blood sugar levels stable. So this can increase, and it can become harder for you to lower it to more desirable levels if you are dehydrated. So when you manage to hydrate your body, you increase the plasma volume, which further stimulates the release of glucose, including by the kidneys through diuresis. And this also helps to improve blood sugar levels in a complementary way. Furthermore, when you are better hydrated, you can improve the issue of hunger that I mentioned to you. Make better food choices, and this can also help improve your blood sugar. Another point, as I mentioned, we have a cortisol spike in the morning, and this is physiological. This is expected. Cortisol is the stress hormone, but sometimes this stress is necessary to get us out of that sleeping, relaxed state. Music. So, this secretion of cortisol is natural, normal, and physiological in the morning. What happens is that many people who do not consume a large or sufficient amount of water in the morning may experience more of this stress agent, more stress in the body due to dehydration. Whereas when you hydrate your body, you signal that everything is okay, that you are already hydrated. The body can then leave that fight or flight stress mode, and the secretion of hormones itself becomes more organized and optimized. So, how do you do this the right way? Because many people make mistakes with this as well. There are some tips that can help you turn this into a habit. The usual recommended intake is 1 to 2 cups. Less than that won't generate that mechanical stimulus. So, waking up and just taking a sip of water won't really help you much. But you also don't need to drink 4 cups of water first thing in the morning. The middle ground is always the most interesting path. So, there's also the speed at which you drink the water. You also don't need to be like, I'm going to drink the 2 cups of water at once. If that's harder for you, you can just take small sips. I say this because many people have trouble drinking liquids first thing in the morning. And for those people, the temperature of the water can be a decisive factor. I speak for myself. I can't usually drink cold water during the day. I just don't. I prefer water at room temperature. And in the morning, it's impossible. I really can't drink it cold even if I wanted to. It feels like it just gets stuck. So, over time, I discovered, and here's a tip for you, that when I drink water at room temperature, it goes down really well. I can drink as much as I want, and my body handles it just fine. Room temperature water is usually a good choice at this time of day. Patricia, I just can't do it. There are people who are the opposite, right? Music. Some people can only drink cold water because they live in a very hot place, and that's totally fine. Evaluate individually how this works for you. Music. A good tip is to wait about 20 minutes between drinking the water and letting it be absorbed, waiting for it to reach your intestines because your stomach is empty. You've been fasting overnight, so the process is actually pretty quick. So, when we wait about 15 to 20 minutes, we get that gastrocolic reflex more stimulated, especially if you suffer from constipation and want to improve your bowel movement. It might seem like a lot, but if you think about it, you can just leave the water by your bed in a bottle or a glass, and when you wake, music up, you drink it. And then you go about your routine, oral hygiene, preparing breakfast, and so on. Sometimes it even ends up being more than 20 minutes, so it's really easy. A lot of people want to know if they should drink water before or after coffee. Music. You wake up and go straight to the coffee maker like a zombie just to have your coffee right away. Music. Ideally, you should hydrate yourself because having coffee before water can mask dehydration and also increases acidity in the stomach, which is already emptier. It can cause heartburn. It can lead to an energy crash in the middle of the morning, so ideally you should hydrate your stomach, your mouth, and so on first. And then you drink your coffee. That way, you'll feel more comfortable too. There are additional strategies you can add to your water first thing in the morning, which can be good complements. For example, psyllium. Excellent, right? It's great for intestinal health, cholesterol, and so on, but it requires a lot of water. So if you use it on an empty stomach, it has to be with a really big glass of water. Otherwise, it can worsen constipation. So keep drinking plenty of water throughout the day. There's a video here on the channel talking about the benefits of psyllium, how to use it, and everything else. Lemon or even ginger can be a great option to flavor your water and to get more bioactive compounds. I also have a video talking more about the benefits of lemon water and ginger water. I'll leave it down below for you as well. Ideally, if you're thinking about adding something to your water, it should be foods that don't cause any kind of metabolic impact, like psyllium, ginger, and lemon. It's not worth adding honey to your water to make it easier to absorb because it can cause an insulin spike. It's also not worth blending fruit into your water to drink it. That's not the idea, okay? Let me know down below. So, if you have the habit of drinking water, how much do you drink? And at what time in the morning do you drink it? Is it right when you wake up or after breakfast? Leave your comment so I can see it. Go ahead and like the video because that really helps me out, and share it with anyone you think could benefit. Let's expand our chain of kindness. That's what I want here with the channel. See you next time. Bye.